Hey guys, we're here at GDC with Industrial Toys, and we're going to be looking at the latest Midnight Star, which is Midnight Star Renegade. Sort of a pseudo sequel to last year's, or was it 2 years ago, game?
Last year.
Last year.
Crazy, I know.
Okay, so I guess the big difference in this one is this is like a full movement first-person shooter, whereas the other one was somewhat on rails or a guided experience, more or less.
Yeah, we do have movement in the game now, so I'll give you a kind of quick little tour.
Sure.
So I'll just hop into one of these levels. If you played the first game, some of the mechanics will be instantly familiar to you.
Okay.
We still do touch to shoot, so you put your finger anywhere on the screen and then aim your weapon and fire it. And we still have trigger types like auto fire triggers, so you can see I'm shooting over here. We did do something a little different with the reticle this time around. We struggled with trying to make everybody happy with the reticle being under your finger or above your finger.
Yeah.
We have a cool drift now, so it starts under your finger. So for single shot weapons, you really just tap on the guy to do a shot.
Yeah.
But now when you hold it down, the reticle drifts up a little bit. And you still can zoom in on guys, but we made it an analog zoom, so as you move your fingers, you can see the zooming action happen. It helps make it a lot more discoverable for people. But obviously the big thing is the movement. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to keep the movement really simple, yet do some really cool stuff. So if I have a guy targeted here and I'm just swiping back and forth to move left and right, he stays targeted, so I can basically circle strafe this guy with one finger.
Okay.
Lob a grenade at him. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So left, right, forward, backwards. And the way we're pulling this off, it is a little different from having virtual sticks because you can't go anywhere in the environment.
Yeah.
But you can use movement to navigate the different places, to chase guys down, and to dodge projectiles that are coming in. So you get a lot of the cool stuff that you really want to get out of movement like that.
Yeah.
And keeps it really super simple.
Interesting.
So I'll run around here and dispatch some of these bad guys. You'll maybe recognize some of these characters from the first game.
Yeah.
It is set in the same universe, obviously. It's after the events of the first game, so about 150 years in our future. And we're fighting the dust because us and them have both discovered what these artifacts do in our solar system. The artifact that we've discovered actually will let us go to different solar systems throughout the galaxy. So we kind of find ourselves in an arm race against this alien race, trying to decipher the technology left behind by the Oberon, who's like a third different alien race. So that's sort of how the levels work, and we've made the levels much shorter, so you can go through a level in about a minute.
Oh, nice.
And they all have different objectives to go after. That was a kill all enemies map. We have a boss map. We have maps where you defend a certain area of the environment. We have rescue maps where you go and rescue other players. But when you play, you get equipment. So I played that level before, so I didn't get a drop. But if I played a new level, let's see if I just pop over here, see if I could beat one of these new levels. I'll play through one of these. And at the end, if I win, I'm going to get a piece of equipment. Then I'll show you what to do with the equipment, which is where it gets, I think, really cool because you can develop your own character and build your own guns, basically. So I'll try and find some of these bad guys over here and see if I can get through this. This level's a little further on in the progression, so the guys are a little bit more, have more health, they do more damage, more of them are going to be attacking me at the same time, so I got to be a little bit on my toes here.
And it's crazy watching you, someone that's familiar with how to control the game. It's like you run around and do all this stuff like second nature.
Well, it is, I mean, one of the things that's kind of cool is you can do it all with, I'm doing this basically with one finger, one or two fingers.
Yeah.
So we really wanted to make it so if you're like waiting in line or something like that, you still have an opportunity to do something in the game that can be fun. Whereas the first game, it was kind of hard to do that because the levels were a lot longer.
Yeah.
And there were more mechanics to the game in the first one. Like the shield right now is an auto shield. So I don't have to actively put two fingers on the screen to make the shield work like you did in the first game. Which actually makes it, I think, more accessible. It makes it easier to play. And I can worry about like what kind of shield I have as opposed to whether I'm getting the timing right on using the shield. So here's my item drop.
Okay.
It's I got myself a shield. It's a common item. There's different rarities to the items that you get. And we did this thing where we're giving every item in the game a power level. And that's really helpful if you're first just getting into the game to understand, to start to understand what the different parts do, like what's more useful to you maybe in the beginning. That the power level is kind of like a shorthand. To figuring out how that works. So if I come into my character here, you'll see I've got a total power level of 513, which is a sum of my parts. Like my best gun here is a 158. and that's the sum of its parts.
Oh, cool.
And so when I get those items, I can come in here and I can customize what I got going on. So here's the sights that I have. This one does 2x zoom. I got one that's higher power level.
Yeah.
It's higher power level. It zooms a little better. Probably got a better damage bonus. It doesn't have a better damage bonus, but it's got increased healing and it's got weak point damage. So that's why it's a little bit higher power level. So like once you get into it, you can kind of figure out like what all these stats do.
Yeah.
But for the first time player, they'll probably start navigating just on this power level kind of thing. And you can see some of the items I have. Like I've got a legendary rifle receiver.
Yeah.
This does a ton of damage. It adds 306 damage to my gun.
Wow.
It does ice damage. So if I get 3 of these parts, all with ice damage on them, then my gun, the icon will show up on my gun will do ice damage. So when I'm shooting, it'll freeze guys, do damage over time. There's 3 of those. There's ice, there's fire, and there's electric.
Okay.
So that's cool. Like when you get a lot of parts, you can start building different guns like that.
Yeah.
So in addition to rifles, we have pistols. Pistols are cool because you can always take 2 weapons in, switch between them. But if you take 2 pistols, you dual wield them, so they both fire at the same time.
Okay.
And what I like to do, like I don't have enough parts to do this yet, but I did just get a rocket magazine. You can load out 2 rocket pistols, and you can put jump boots on. So with jump boots, you're like flying around the levels. And if you're dual wielding rocket pistols, that's a ton of fun.
That sounds fun. Yeah.
So in addition to the guns, you have the same kind of customization on your armor.
Okay.
So like I was saying, the jump boots. The boots. This is where you would get a feature like jump.
Yeah.
I don't have jump boots right now, so I got to work to get those. And then you can also buy crates, which will give you 5 of these item drops. This is an epic, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's probably the best pistol extension part I have. It says grade on it. So I'll open these
cool.
up.
And then so I noticed crafting too. So a lot of your unused items and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I got 4 common parts there. I'm probably not going to end up using those. So if I come in here, I can actually grab all my common parts that I'm not using. If I select all of them, I can salvage them. I'll get 60 scrap out of that.
Okay.
That goes into my scrap over here.
Yeah.
And then when I come into the crafting screen, I can be like, you know what, I really want to get those jump boots. So I want to roll a pair of boots. That'll cost me 2250 scrap. I don't quite have enough, but once I get rid of some of those unused parts, I can get enough scrap that I can make myself some boots. Hopefully they're jump boots.
And so is it less if you let it all be random? Like, can you just do a random item?
You can just do a random item,
Okay.
and that's less. I can actually go back in here and I can be like, you know what? I don't want just jump boots. I want legendary boots.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of scrap.
Oh dang. Okay. Yeah.
So,
That's cool.
Yeah. So after you're kind of going through it for a while, you probably have enough parts where you can get some legendary items.
Yeah.
We have boosts as well. Like I could give myself extra weak spot damage.
Yeah.
That lasts for a day basically when you equip those. And then
Are you
going to
have?
the campaign.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say the first game had kind of a lot of social aspects built in. Are you going for that with this too?
Yeah, I don't have that in the build to show, but we have sort of 3 kind of social multiplayer things that we're doing. 2 of them are events. We have a daily and a weekly event, which is basically you get put into a session with like 100 people, and it's like, okay, who can get the most headshots?
Yeah.
And you get the most headshots, you're going to get like a drop out of that.
Oh, okay.
Same thing for the weekly, though. That one's always high score.
Okay.
And then we have a versus mode, and that's head to head. So you go in versus, and I'll get match made with somebody. I go up against your character. I go in and play, and then if I win, I get rank points.
Oh, neat.
And that puts me on the rank ladder.
Okay.
And every month we'll do a seasonal. Every month sort of soft resetting of the rank ladder.
Similar to what you did last time with the last one.
Yeah. But the difference this time around is it's still asynchronous, but you get a win or a loss right when you play, so you don't have to kind of wait around for everybody else to take their turns and that kind of thing. So that was some of the feedback that we got from the players. They kind of wanted that multiplayer resolution, right in the moment, which totally, like, I want that too. So that's why we kind of set it up that way.
Cool. All right, and so soft launch happening in the next couple of weeks, you said?
Yeah, this month we're about to submit our build, so just depending on how long it takes to go through the system.
Sure. Okay,
be out
cool.
soon.
Well, it looks really good. So we'll be keeping our eye out for Midnight Star Renegade, soft launching soon, and then worldwide release to follow. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.